Alright, hello everyone, welcome to Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDO stream. I'm your community manager, Cordova, and I'll be with you for the next hour, hanging out, having some fun, doing some Q&A. I have a little bit of the latest news, kind of see what's going on in the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online. This weekend we've got the Night Revels event happening, so probably do a little bit of Night Revels here as well. And otherwise, I just thought I'd hang out with you all after being gone for basically a week. Yeah. I don't announce my vacations for obvious reasons, but I was out Wednesday to Wednesday and just got back into the office yesterday. So, as you can imagine, we've been pretty busy doing a lot of different things, and so I've got a lot to get back to. So I've been busy. I've been very busy over the past week. Hope things have been going okay for you. We launched update 62.1 and this week we launched update 62 last week with Night Revels. We launched it and then I basically left for a week. Go me. But that happens sometimes. And so that's what's been going on. Follow-up patch that we released this week. I'll probably have a look at the release notes here in just a little bit. And we're looking ahead to the rest of the month. We've got a Lamania that is tentatively set for next week. That'll be some of the Update 63 quests. So you're going to get your first chance to see some of these particularly challenging, I believe, quests next week. And you'll get some hints as to what we got kind of in the works, but we're also keeping some things under wraps regarding how you'll access these quests and some of the unlock mechanisms and things like that. But you'll get your first preview of those, most likely next week. And then we'll have a Lamania, I believe, tentative set at this point for the week following, but that'll probably happen. And then within a couple of weeks after that, we'll probably have a Lamania related to the upcoming dungeon that'll be released for free later this year that got its impetus at the PAX East Festival. Earlier this year, the free dungeon that Bob Hess is working on that you can see more about in the Joy of Deving with Bob Hess right here on DDO stream. That's a series where we're actually making this dungeon live, and our goal is to get that dungeon released around the end of the year in December. And so that'll get its first Lamania here, I guess looking at about 3 or 4 weeks here, probably 4 weeks here before that happens. So, but next we've got a Lamania for the quest for update 63. So, there we go. I have learned as a moderator that it is generally not a good idea to announce that you'll be gone for 7 days. What can I say? Past experience has shown me that probably not something you want to announce. People are good about kind of figuring out when I'm not around. And there were some people who stepped up to the plate while I was out to deal with, say, Update 62.1 as well. And I do want to thank Angela Liana and others who were involved in kind of filling in while I was out for a week. So thanks, everyone. So one of the first things I wanted to mention is this, which is Extra Life. We've launched our Extra Life fundraising campaign for the year. This raises money for the Boston Children's Hospital. Every year we do this, and every year the community from Dungeons & Dragons Online comes out to support this life-saving efforts for kids at the Boston Children's and other hospitals. We're raising money for the Boston Children's Hospital. Team Extra Life is made up of a whole bunch of people. They can designate who they're raising money for on their personal pages. You can find out more and donate at extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. We're going to be doing something, a game day. I don't know if it's going to be on game day itself or around that time yet. I think the Locher side is going to be that Friday, November 3rd. We could do a DDO side on November 4th, but stay tuned. We'll kind of figure out the timing of when we're going to do a special Extra Life fundraising stream here for Dungeons & Dragons Online. This year we've raised our goal to 30,000. It should be doable. Fingers crossed here. With your support, we should be able to cross that 30,000 goal and unlock all the incentives. So, what do we got going on? We're giving away DDO points codes. We're giving away picks from the community loot list. If you're like, the community what? I'll tell you about that in just a second here. But as we cross these thresholds, we're going to be unlocking things, and then anyone who's donated at least $10 is in on all this stuff. We're also, if we cross that goal, we'll be giving away 3 Ultimate Editions of Vecna Unleashed. 3 Ultimate Editions of Vecna Unleashed to random folks who donate at least $10. So, hey, that might be worth a 10 spot to you, and also raising money to help sick kids at extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. If you want to donate to me, that'd be great. Love to see my numbers go up. That is extra-life.org/participant/Jerry Snook. But if you want to donate to anybody on the team, that's fine too. If you've already made a donation, that's fine too. We're not all that picky. However, once you donate, I do need you to click this link. Once you donate, please fill out the following survey here if you wish to receive incentives. The reason for that is I need a way to get them to you. We're doing something new this year where I'm going to, unlike in the years past where I actually was mailing items in-game to people, we got it all fancy and code-based now. Which also has the advantage of that if you want to give it to a friend, that's fine too. And so, I need contact information. Probably email's best. If you don't feel comfortable giving me your email, that's fine. Forum handle is fine too, because I can just private message you that. If neither of those work, then, well, you need to let me know how to get in touch with you. Do not give me your DDO game account name. Every year I get a handful of people who just give me their game account name, and it's like, that doesn't help, sorry. But what I can do is I'll message, email, however you get me your contact info, you the codes, and then you'll be able to redeem them through the DDO store inside of the game. If you run into any issues, let me know. Like I say, we just sort through things as we need to throughout the campaign. But I'm also hoping that because both games are now code-based, I can start rolling out the incentive rewards a little bit earlier than usual. Oftentimes it takes through the end of the campaign, and then I have to start getting back to hundreds of people, and it's amazing. It really is. It's great, but it's also a lot of work. So that's why this year we're hoping to kind of roll it out as we go along a little bit better. So fill out that survey after you donate, and should get done. All right. So what are you going to get? Basically, we've just done 10, 20, 40, 60 donation tiers. The reason we're doing that, we got rid of the old $5 tier, which was a forum title, because you can now set your own forum titles. We also don't have forum avatars anymore, because you can make your own forum avatar. But we do have picks from the community loot list. So $10 gets you a pick and an entry into any of the giveaways. And then you can have 3 picks for 20, 6 for 40, and 10 for 60. And what do you get? Well, you can pick from anything that we have on this list right here. These are generally cosmetic items and fun items and just weird one-offs that have been created over the years for me to give away during community gatherings and other public events and things like Extra Life. I don't have anything new this year. The new this year really is the work to the actual development work. Minor, not a lot, but a little bit of actual development work that had to go into be able to turn these into code, so I'm no longer just logging in on an admin and mailing you these items inside of the game. So that's the new this year, which should make it all nice and smooth. And then in future years, we're looking at getting new things added to the list really all the time. So, but that's what we got going on. Extra Life. So thank you everyone who's already donated. This launched yesterday evening. Thank you to those who see this and then do decide to donate. Anything you want to donate, large or small, is very much appreciated. If you have any questions, like if you donate now and then in 2 weeks you donate again, just fill out a new survey for your new donation. I'm going through them one at a time in the list. I'll get to your stuff. If you have any questions, just get in touch with me. Probably through the forums is the easiest way. All right, so we did release update 62.1 this week on Wednesday. You can take a look at the release notes on DDO.com. We made it so the expired Night Revels ingredients could no longer be auctioned. That was an oversight. Some people were causing trouble with that inside of the game, so we were able to take care of that. We finally fixed the issue that's been a couple of weeks older than that in Belly of the Beast related to an acid pool change that we had in update 62. So now Belly of the Beast is no longer causing additional acid damage and some other problems. We did some work related to the itemization rework that was done for Update 62, and you can read that in the release notes as well. And I guess that's probably about all I'm going to bring up here. The rest of it you can just read or may already know about. So we do have Night Revels happening. That kicked off, on October 4th, and that goes through October 31st. We do have a guide up on DDO.com. You can find out what's up. You can also see a list of the new rewards and the couple images of a few of them. So the Reaper Steed is the new steed this year. It has a much higher cost than years past. I know that caused some consternation. What happened there is the 2022 steed was released at, frankly, too low of a acquisition cost. And so when the 2023 steed came around, there was a decision made to increase the cost of it. And I've seen some feedback that perhaps you feel we've overshot that and it should be brought down a little bit. Perhaps we'll be able to take that feedback into consideration in the future. All I can really say about it is it was a decision made related to the value of the steed, the ability to acquire it, and kind of having a top-end item in this year's Night Revels. The other new stuff is more generally priced along typical lines that you are used to. And we have a cosmetic armor cloak hat and a spectral pseudo-dragon pet, which I think looks pretty sweet. I think it's a pretty cool looking pet here this year. You can take a look at that. So that's happening. We'll probably end up running a little bit of that on the show here today. All right, I think that's all I've got for news. Let me see what we've got going on in chat. A wardrobe to help store cosmetic clothing. That would be something that we would love to do at some point in the future, but I have not heard of any immediate plans to do it. That would be having something like Lotro's wardrobe would not be a system we can just sort of port over right away. It would be a lot of work. It would be really awesome. Maybe someday. But it would be a big project on the DDO side to create a wardrobe, which means creating cosmetic items that are typed as cosmetics. So. Why does the store show 160 special items, but you only see 2 and no scroll bar until you click on sales items? I don't know. My guess is it might be pulling from things that are both visible and not visible, and that might be used as a receptacle for some kind of, there's certain things that are put into the game catalog that aren't necessarily intended to be sold to the end users, some things that are used for testing, for example, and things like that, that are probably put in a hidden state, and so it may just be a UI bug that it's not pulling from published, but rather the wider list or something like that. But that's speculation. We'll have to look at it. So, to answer your question, Zims, which is, how's come we can get recolored Night Revel stuff every year, but we can't get new recolored Reaper wings? We could perhaps do something like that in the future. I think the work to recolor Reaper wings is perhaps somewhat more extensive than what is seen on the Night Revels rewards, but that said, it's most like there's no reason we couldn't, and perhaps that is something that we could do in the future. People do like their Reaper wings. I don't know exactly when when Chronoscope will get its first Lamania. I don't think that is next week. I think that'll be later. But I don't have any word to tell you about that this week. I also don't have much I could say about Hardcore Season 9 yet. We're getting closer to it, but we're not there yet. I'm not yet in a position to give you any hints about what we're planning to do here for the next Hardcore season. All right. think we pretty well got that handled. So let me head inside of the game. One of the things I wanted to show people is a little bit more information about the secret loot chest in Vecna Unleashed. Now that I'm back from vacation, it's been found. People have had time to take a look at it. They've had their time to put guides together, which will get you all this information that you need by the DDO community in the DDO forums. But there is a one-time process where you basically are going to be talking to this NPC on every server you're playing on. And eventually you will get to the point where you're being asked to find a book called Seeing the Impossible Behind the Dark Curtain. And you need to figure out where to find it. And I'm going to show you where you can find it, because it's very easy. I'm actually going to be switching characters here, I think, a little bit too, and show you a couple of the hidden chests so you can kind of figure out what to do there. If someone wanted to join the Extra Life team to help raise money, what's the best way to go about it? The best way is to simply join the team. The team is completely open for anyone who wants to join it. You don't have to clear it with anyone. It's all good. Just join the team. That's all you gotta do. So everyone's calling it the Kitty Dragon Dungeon. So I wasn't sure that that's what we've been calling it internally, and probably then through the live stream, that's what everyone's been calling it. So the Kitty Dragon Dungeon it is, for now. So about the Kitty Dragon Dungeon, any chance we can get a rune arm that shoots balls of yarn? Gosh, I hope so. That would be awesome. I am copying that into a notepad faster than Lizzie chases after leaves in the backyard. Okay. In theory, someday we could do a physical swag release of SSG logo shirts. We're clear to do that, I think. It's just a matter of figuring out the process of who gets what. So maybe someday. Maybe someday. I don't know that they'd sell all that much, but we could maybe clear. I don't know, how much would we clear? Could we clear 500 SSG shirts? Maybe. How many people really want an SSG shirt, though? Alright, so, turn the page.
Holding the Codex of the Infinite
This is where you gotta go.
A complex magical mechanism has been
Just right around the start. You don't even have to start the quest.
No doubt some kind
Finding
of
the
security
impossible,
device.
seeing the impossible behind the dark curtain.
Eager to discuss your duties.
So you pick up the book. And there it is. So you can exit the quest and turn it in to the NPC. SSG sneakers? I think they would actually make... The color choice in them is quite good. I think they would actually make for some pretty cool sneakers. They need to be made out of real rock. We're bringing back... Just like the Flintstones, we're bringing back stones on your feet. Give steps to the book. It's perfect. Then, shortly thereafter, you will be given a pair of glasses a few days later. And for that, we need to swap accounts. So, hang on. Yes, so the timer does seem to reset at 8 p.m. Eastern, which means theoretically you can kind of double dip on your talking to steps there by, say, doing it at 5 and doing it again at 9. I think that's fine. I don't think anyone really cares that much about it. But yes, it does seem to be 8 p.m. My cat is being somewhat obnoxious, unfortunately. I don't know how much of this is picking up. But I suppose, as long as I'm waiting to log in, let me give you Lizzie Cam for the first time in a while. Been a little while since we had Lizzie Cam on the show. Here she is. Really unhappy to be here. She hates being on camera. But that's her problem for meowing at me. Yep. Yep, Miss Elizabeth Bennet is the name, so. I think she wants me to take her outside. Because we were outside earlier. No, okay, I'm sorry. You're really gonna make me, like, get up out of my seat, huh? Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, so now I am on Wayfinder here, and the reason I'm on Wayfinder is I wanted to show you then an example of how to find the various chests. You don't need to do much. You can run it on casual, although I wouldn't suggest it. The reason I wouldn't suggest it is on normal I've been getting at least one per run. Sometimes only one per run, but at least one per run. And on casual, it seems to have about a 50% drop rate, were I to guess. Yeah, she loves it because it's a very beautiful fall day outside of my house in Massachusetts here, and the leaves have started to fall, and the wind has picked up, and leaves rustling across the grass in the backyard triggers my cat's predator mechanism, I guess. And she dashes around the yard, chasing after leaves. She's the great leaf hunter.
Undergo the trials of the Dark Six. Return to the center of the Hall of the Traveler. Once you have succeeded, past the wall of water.
So you can fight these things.
And their trained creatures.
That is an
The trial
option.
of the Devourer has begun.
Alright. With that gone, you can go into here. So, the first hidden chest is back here. See that hidden chest there? That's the one. You don't see it unless you've got these goggles on. And these are the goggles that you will get from steps after turning in that book and passing, I think it's a few days. And as long as you have these goggles equipped, you will be able to see the chest. See? And there's 4 of these chests. In the 3 Vecna Unleashed quests and 1 that is not. That is in the chest prior. And looting these chests, not always the easiest, but it can be done. This one in particular seems to have a range. Looks to be in the way. There we go. And you'll get these dusts. Different ones for each quest. And each quest drops that one specific ingredient, and you need a few of them. And I will explain that here shortly. So, I don't know if that is true. So, I should note, I have not been able to speak directly to the developer who did this to ask such questions that I too might have about, well, if it's 50% on casual, which is what it seemed to be to me, but guaranteed on normal, does that mean that it is better on hard or elite? ultimately, I don't know. I just ran it on normal because you don't have to finish the quest, you don't have to do much of anything. And you don't even need all that many of them, not really. It's pretty easy to do. So, we were in the tavern. See how we're in the tavern above there? Out in the public area. Once you've got the goggles, back here in this corner is the chest. The unholy defiler of the hidden hand. And this is what you're doing this for. So you will need, depending on the level of the item and what the item is, a certain number of these dusts. But if you're getting, I was getting up to 3 per chest on normal, so you're really only doing this a few times per quest. One quest, though, kind of eluded me. And was being a bit of a pain in the butt in terms of getting me my ingredients. So I ended up ransacking the chest before I had my 12. But the rest of them really was fewer than 12 runs, maybe 8. And you don't have to run the quest, you just got to run to the chest. So, different stuff. Bunch of minor artifacts that you can get. You'll see that they have Taint of Evil. You'll be able to remove that Taint of Evil from the raid. There's an altar in the raid that you can see with these glasses. And you can remove the Taint of Evil if you need to from that. Or you can be true neutral or something and then have to worry about it. But whatever, you know, whatever you're doing, it's up to you. And now we're getting into, these are the heroic versions, the defiled reliquaries. And they take 6. You've got the full weapon suite. And you've got these shining reliquaries. They are a different kind of item here. You'll see they have combustion and fire lore, rather than, say, unholy and evil blast. There's also some shields. And then you get into the legendary. The legendary are the ones that take 12. Now they take 12 and a shining reliquary item of that kind. So either you will get that shining reliquary item of that kind just from running the quests, or if you aren't getting the specific flavor of it that you want from the quests, you can turn in through steps and trade any of the shining, a couple of them, it was like, what, 3, 5, whatever it is, for the kind that you do want. And then there's also the defiled reliquary as well, which do like combustion and fire lore. Other things. And the shields. Alright, so I have on this character the legendary defiled reliquary great axe I just picked up before heading out on vacation here. And I'm going to be slotting in the orange and purple augment slots. I'm going to be putting in a sentient gem on it here in the near future and then bringing it out in combat. It's a little beyond the focus of what I'm planning to do here today to really get into the raid upgrading. The forums has that covered, so you can just find the link to it with just Google Vecna secrets or Vecna secret loot, whatever, and you'll get there. And all the work done by Arcanaverse and others to put together the guide, really, for how this all works. But, hey, that's basically how it all works. The quests are all pretty easy to get to, with one exception, which is that one of them is from in the lower area for, or the quest pack prior. Not quite sure why we did that, but we did. But they're all pretty easy to get to. And with that one exception of the quest from update 50, well, the other one. They're all pretty quick to get to. Like this one here. Taken in hand. So the reason I go in on normal is so I can just kind of not have to worry about all the combat and the fighting and what have you. It's all pretty straightforward.
Their attack on the Hidden Hand headquarters. You should speak with your United Forces contact. The scout says that the United Forces assault on the Hidden Hand's headquarters is already underway. You can take advantage of your allies' attack to carve your way through the enemy base. The Hidden Hand cultists have locked down their fortress to help them battle the invasion. You'll need to find a way to open more doors if you want to make your way further inside. The lever that unlocks the door leading forward is guarded by one of the leaders of the Whispered One's cult, the Hand of Vecna. Your allies are doing a good job of keeping the Hidden Hand busy while you conduct your search. The Hand of Vecna has fallen. You can now reach the lever that opens the way leading deeper into the complex.
I always like to see if I can open the lever without, and just sort of be like, nah, I don't even care that you're attacking me. You think I care? I don't care. It's all good. My 2 hit is such that I don't even have to worry about you shooting at me with your crossbow from my AC. And such. No.
You spot
And this one is up here, behind these barrels. Was there any news earlier? Not really. I guess the biggest bit of news I have for you this week is that we're planning our first update 63 quest preview on Lamania for next week. I think that's probably the news. Where am I going? What am I doing? There we are. Okay, I see where I am now. It's the goggles puzzle and the abbot all over again? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that's true. Alright, what am I doing here? What do I want to do? Maybe I want to run Night Revels. I don't think we need to run these other 2 quests. It sounds like everyone already knows this stuff. And you can find it over on the forums. Oh, gosh, my kitty is being so kitty-like today. What do you have to say to the stream? Yeah? You can tell she's loving this. Yeah. Yep. Well, I guess we're gonna do this for a little bit. It's true, she did miss me. Of course I missed her too while I was on vacation, so... Alright, there you go. No, she cares about laser lights, but she only cares about it so much. And then she kind of just doesn't care that much, really. Okay, actually, where am I going? There we go. I have a new beard. I don't think my beard's new. I did shave it a while back, but it's not that bad. Okay, so... Alright, so let me show you a Vecna tonight then, while I'm waiting here. This one, all you need to do is do the dragon fight. That's not that bad either. Fine, I will take care of you. Like, wait a second. No. Is the answer. I've seen those chairs that you can get that give a little place for your cat to sit. I think she would love for me to get her a little platform that she can sort of sit while I'm sitting in this chair. But I've got my gamer elbow. I sort of just move my gamer elbow over and let her sit there. Clearly she does this while I'm playing fairly regularly. No, it's totally fine that you're paying more attention to the cat. That's how it should be. I'm sure the cat would agree.
You can see a large red dragon sleeping beyond the magic lamp.
This is the only, like, actual fight that of any import, really. And this isn't tough on normal or anything, it's just, you know, the dragon does have CR37 style hit points, so... Might take you a smidge. Alright, Lizzie has decided to get off me. Fine, he's not going... I don't know exactly what she even wants. Like I said, just before the show, I would let her outside for a while. We were eating grass and chasing leaves. In part so that she wouldn't do this. There we go, there's our gray dust. You can do this from the other airship as well. This is just what I've got in my head. Because that's the pattern I was doing from where I was from. So this is the only one that takes a little bit of doing to get. It's
The
not that
remaining
bad, though.
eyes are somewhere nearby, locked away inside the headquarters of the Hidden Hand. So, members of them are often seen entering the curiosity shop at the end of this shabby little courtyard. This shop is filled with odd artifacts and Hidden Hand cultists. It looks like you're in the right place.
I'm doing the barbarian survival tactic of I will get rid of this debuff when I die. That's how this debuff will go away.
The Eye of Dolor must be nearby. An imposing form.
So on this one you do need to get all three of the planar eyes in order to hit the hidden chest. Which is why this is the one that takes the most amount of time.
So does the magical field surrounding the Eye of Dolor. You struggle to resist overwhelming weariness as you pick up the Eye of Dolor. To your surprise, a jovial gnome is perched atop a crate in the middle of the damp corridor. He waves you over, eager to talk.
I have found that it's best to just fight the Kelpies in place, but you do you. Oops, wrong way. So it's actually not that much work, not really, because you can. This was really, I'm gonna say, 1 or 2 nights of actual work for the most part, because you only have to really do it just to get that initial item, and then you can. It's like, you know, up to a dozen runs tops, maybe 13, 14, if for some reason you get skunked on a chest or whatever. The reason I did is because I had to run it on casual to do some, you know, personal curiosity style testing on it. And that's what we ended up with, so. But the actual process of kind of getting through it isn't bad, especially if you got anyone around with you to perhaps help out a little bit. This is the one that takes the most, because you actually kind of have to go through the quest. The rest of them you can really just, like that one especially, where you just have to hit the conch area, you can just hit that right away.
Bringing the Fae's little story to an abrupt end.
I don't think I've mentioned it, but we do have a bonus days bonus this weekend of, let me double check, 5% Reaper XP, right? Yeah, 5% Reaper XP boost through the 15th. So that is our bonus days bonus. Yeah, I know. There's a part of me that was like, oh, come on, you can just do all three, it's fine. This one could be a little tricky on my poor character because I don't have, I don't have the right feet. That's my problem. My feet are bad.
Carefully pick up the icy.
All right, nice. All right. So now you got all three. You can go back.
Towering shield guardian stands sentinel at the entrance to the Hidden Hand's headquarters. The shield guardian opens the door to the Hidden Hand headquarters.
And again, you don't have to complete. You just need to get to the section.
Beholder, speaking with cultists.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Wasn't like that when I was farming this. So this is where you want to go. Right up here. See this little room up here? See that chest? There you go. All right, there we go. I got 3 of them that run. Yay. So what else should I mention? I guess that's about it. And then you can remove the Taint of Evil from an altar in the raid once you get the item, if you need to. So, alright, well, let's wrap up the stream then with a quick Night Revels run or two. Which I will go to Saltmarsh. Be real quick, do some Q&A while I'm swapping around a few things. Any word on when the next archetype will be released? So, 2 weeks ago when Sev was on... Oh, okay. I think I accidentally exited the game. Okay, let me fix that. 2 weeks ago when Sev was on was the last time that we did talk about how we do have a new archetype in the works. And I can't say anything further about what it'll be or when it'll be released. It's not going to be anytime too soon, however. It's going to be a little ways before that new archetype is released. So I'm going to say... probably sometime in 2024. I believe Dilemma. The question is, was that chest there when the original quest came out, or did it arrive with Vecna Unleashed? The hidden chest arrived with Vecna Unleashed, but these hidden chests and goggles arrived with Vecna Unleashed. Because we are who we are. And we... Oh, okay, well, let me go there then. Because we wanted to sort of see this happen on the live worlds, there were a few of us on the team who were like, well, we'll be talking to this NPC every day just to make sure everything kicks over and everything. So all that stuff has been in since the start, but not since before Vecna Unleashed. There we are. Is there a thought about re-looking at Korthos in an epic legendary aspect? So we have had ideas, kind of design docs, and other plans about what could be done to redo Korthos or do a legendary Korthos. I mean, there's been a whole bunch of things about Korthos over the years. That could happen someday, but I don't think that it's on any sort of shorter-term agenda of ours.
The dark of eternal night has drawn its cloak over Dalara's graveyard. Attend the night revels, if you dare.
I think that there is interest, in doing it perhaps someday. And, we've talked in the past, either jokingly or in response to player questions and things like that, about the idea of flipping sides so that you're the group facing off against Alcir KX and things like that, which makes sense, or not. Yeah, so making it all work could be done. That'd be pretty fun. So yes, we have the steed here that does take a lot. Pseudo Dragon Certificate does take a fair amount here as well. You do have to run the dragon fight. And the cloak armor and all the rest are no problemo. Oh, actually, I just went to the wrong one. Oops, never mind. Let me redo that. Yeah, I like a lot of it actually this year. The hat and the cloak, all of the cosmetics are really cool.
During the night revels, the plain of Maybar becomes coterminous with this corner of Stormreach. Dark energies are building throughout the graveyard. Destroy the undead before they threaten the rest of the city.
So this is through October 31st. Kind of good timing on it this year, just due to the way it all works out. It's through Halloween, goes away on November 1st. I think in practice now is often some of our busiest times. People really like Halloween type things in the lead up to Halloween. These first 3 or so weeks of October tend to be really popular times if you're a Halloween themed something or other in video games. And then people actually get busy on Halloween itself. And then after Halloween, the interest in Halloween-themed things drops off precipitously. Yes, Halloween is a month, for sure. I'm down for it, though. Honestly, Halloween is a year for me. I just pretty much am Halloween, I think.
The uncanny fog that accompanies the undead is so thick it prevents further progress into the graveyard. Perhaps if you destroy
But that's because I'm a horror movie nerd.
the wall of fog would dissipate.
Always have been. So this is the best time of the year. All these free streaming services are bringing out their Halloween movies. And just sort of sit there watching them all day long, all night long, on my downtime. Fairly soon, like I said, this year, because they're code-based for both
further to the east.
Extra Life campaigns, both on the Locho and DDO side this year, it means that I really just have to distribute several thousand codes for Extra Life when all is said and done. So what I often tend to do, the way I often tend to do that is because I can't always do it during work hours, I do have actual work that I have to do instead. And so what I will often do is in the evenings I will get up my spreadsheets of codes and get up my spreadsheet of donor information and put on a movie on one of the streaming services in the background and just sort of cook through 50 to 100 donations a night and just kind of do it until there's none left to do, and that takes a while. But it's a pretty fun way to do it, and a lot easier to do when I'm not having to log into different game worlds and mail items like I was on the DDO side. So we'll probably end up doing some night revels here for next Friday's show. And we'll have more information about the Update 63 quests. I don't typically run Lamania quests on the live stream, but I could. I'd maybe do at least a sneak peek of some kind or something, maybe. We'll see. But that's really what I have in the works for Fridays at 4 for the next couple of weeks. We're just going to be celebrating Halloween, getting ready for the release of Update 63, and just enjoying the new content that came out with Vecna Unleashed and Beyond. So I think this is probably about as good a place as any to wrap up the show. Christmas is technically the birth of slasher films. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. But then I'm kind of an old Mario Bava nerd, so... Alright, well, thanks for watching. Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDOstream. This show gets archived on YouTube afterwards, and the show will be back next Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We have shows all week long on DDOstream, so check out the other streamers, support them, support your fellow content creators over on DDO. Have a great weekend, get everything you want in game, and I'll talk to you soon.